Introducing my group.
Good day, sir. I am Janko Garcia of 1D3. Agriculture production is sustainable over long term, relies on diverse crop rotations, increased use of perennial species, and the integration of livestock in pastures and range-based systems. The National Sustainable Agriculture Coalitions, or NSAC, has consistently worked to include provision in the form of bill of research and conservation titles and the rules of funding notices that follow. The support system used by sustainable livestock, dairy, and poultry farmers. This includes rotational grazing and other that integrated crop and forage production with the animal production on the same form. This system will help reduce the need for antibiotics that are good for the animals, farmers, and the environment. NSAC will continue to advocate for increased discretionary funding and protection of mandatory bill funding for program that particularly benefits sustainable livestock and poultry producers.
Hi, good day. I'm Ian Almiñana from BSHM 1D3, and I'm here to discuss all about what is animal agriculture. And the first, what is the effect of animal agriculture? Factory farms emit noxious air pollutants such as ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and the methane. This emission negatively impact human health, animal health, and the environmental as a whole. The next is origin. What is origin? A brief history of modern agriculture. The origin of factory farming. The origin of factory farming in the 1970s, pig farmers succumbed to the mass production process and began shifting to the factory farming. Cow farmers followed suit. Today, roughly 94% of all animals farmed for human consumption are raised on factory farms.
Hi, I am Rosalyn Joy D. Untalan from 1D3 BSHM. Animal agriculture or industrial livestock production, also known by its opponent as factory farming, is a type of intensive agriculture, specifically an approach to animal husbandry designed to maximize production while minimizing costs. Livestock is the world's largest user of land resources, with pasture and arable land dedicated to the production of feed representing almost 80% of the total agricultural land. One-third of global arable land is used to grow feed, arable land, while 26% of the Earth's ice-free terrestrial surface is used for grazing.
I am Alea Roque from BSHM 1D3, and I'm here to discuss the definition of plants agriculture. Agriculture plants are commonly known as timber crops, container plants, and turf production. Agriculture plant includes, but it's not limited to, grains, fruits, and vegetables, wood fiber or timber products, flowering and foliage plants, and trees, seedlings and transplants, and turf grass produced for sod.
Hi, my name is Nimpa Didagus. I'm here to explain the plant agriculture crop improvement uses. There is uses. Crop improvement is essential to meet the demands of the changing world, like example of population, climate change, and diseasing and land-based. Plant breeding and program are the continually safety of hazard, increase crop yield and enhance crop quality, improve crop tolerances and diseases pets.
Hi, my name is John Castin from Section 1D3 BSHM, and here to explain who discovered plant agriculture biotechnology. Nikolai I. Babilov was a Russian plant geneticist and agronomist who initiated a comprehensive research and breeding program that included a logical plan for crop genetics resource management. At the end of the 19th century was a milestone in biology. Microorganisms were discovered as well as pasteurization. Gregor Mendel began the study of genetics using seeds and plant experiments. The term biotechnology was coined in 1919 by Karl Ehricke, a Hungarian engineer.
The Sustainable Energy for All initiative aims to achieve universal access to sustainable energy, but this would mean providing electricity access to over 1 billion new people. Globally, approximately 2/3 of greenhouse gas emission already come from energy, extraction and use. Agriculture is the largest sector in many developing country economies, but deforestation contributes between 10 and 17% of annual carbon emission.
Hi, my name is Gampaloy Barrientos. Ang akin ay meaning. All energy sources have some impact on our environment. Fossil fuel, oil, and natural gas do substantially more from the renewable energy sourced by measure including air, water, and pollution damage to public health, wildlife and habitats loss, water use, lands, and global warming emission.
My name is Jefferson Encarnacion, and ang akin po ay uses ng energy of environmental. All energy sources have some impact on our environmental like fossil, fuel, coal, oil, and natural gas. Do substantially more harm than renewable energy sources by most measures including air and water pollution, damage to public health, wildlife and habitat loss, water use and land use, and global warming emission. However, renewable sources such as wind, solar, geothermal, biomass, and hydropower also have environmental impacts, some of which are significant. The exact type and intensity of depending on the specific technology used, the geographic location, and a number of the factors.
I am Julian Hurtado from BSHM 1D3. Face transplant is an example of biotechnology in healthcare. A face transplant is a process of using skin grafts to replace all or a part of patient's face with a donor's face. The first first partial face transplant was performed in Amiens, France in November 27, 2005 by Bernard de Gauchel, an oral and maxillofacial surgeon, Benoit Landelay, a Belgian plastic surgeon, and Jean-Michel Dubernard. The next transplant were performed 5 years later in Spain. This was also the first full face transplant. The transplant patient, whose face was severely damaged in an accident, received a new nose, lips, teeth, and cheekbones during the 24-long-hour surgery. A face transplant is performed to try to improve the quality of life for persons badly disfigured by facial trauma, burns, disease, and birth defects. It is also intended to enhance the appearance and the functional abilities such as chewing, swallowing, talking, and breathing through the nose.
Hi, good day. My name is Abigail Olivia. I will be tackling the modern healthcare process. My example is brain signals to audible speech. Scientists are working on creating a device that can translate brain signals to audible speech using a voice synthesizer. This would serve as an incredible tool in communicating with individuals paralyzed with a disease or traumatic injuries. Furthermore, scientists have found that they can use this device on epileptic patients to isolate the source of their seizures.
Targeted cancer therapy. Currently established standard chemotherapies are toxic for healthy cells. Targeted cancer therapies are drugs that work either by interfering with the function of specific molecules or by only targeting known cancerous cells in order to minimize damage to healthy cells. According to the National Cancer Institute, eventually, treatments may be individualized based on the unique set of molecular targets produced by the patient's tumor.
My name is Nicole Andy Terelisa from 1D3. The topic is all about food innovation. Food, as we all know, is the source of our daily energy. We may eat for pleasure, but we consume food for our own betterment. That is why companies in the food industry are working to innovate the food that we eat for better and nutritious food, and most of all, sustainable, keeping the balance also, ensuring that their consumers gets the highest of quality food. Food innovation has been in a lot of talks in the past decade, and because all food industries wants is to introduce what they can do the public, just add more reasons why they are doing a lot of things. Like to cut costs but not hold back the quality of their food, or just add something new in their production line, adding tropical flavors. Example of this, pineapple on burgers. Just simply to be more sustainable, clean, and green.
Good day everyone. My name is Ria Marcia Colbia from BSHM 1D3. Food innovation. First, what is food innovation? Innovation in the food industry combines technological innovation with social and cultural innovation. It occurs throughout the entire food system, including production, harvesting, primary and secondary processing, manufacturing, and distribution. Why is innovation important in the food industry? Innovation is the lifeblood of the food industry, and it's essential for ensuring probability and survival. Consumer demands and expectations are constantly evolving, and retailers are seeking new products to meet these needs. There have some reason why the food innovation is important. It increases your chances to react to change and discover new opportunities. It can also help foster competitive advantage as it allows you to build better products and services.
Good day, everyone. My name is Shania Lian Prudente from BSHM 1D3. Fermentation technology is the use of organisms to produce food, pharmaceuticals, and alcoholic beverage on a large-scale industrial basis. Fermentation is a chemical process by which carbohydrates, such as starch and glucose, are broken down anaerobically. Fermentation has many health benefits and is used in the production of alcoholic beverage, bread, and yogurt. It is also used in industry to generate ethanol as a source of biofuel. In 1856, a French chemist by the name of Louis Pasteur connected yeast to the process of fermentation, making him the first zymologist or someone of fermentation. This discovery caused a fall of the fermented food phenomenon. In 1857, Pasteur showed lactic acid fermentation is caused by living organisms.
Fermentation technology. Fermentation technology is the longest run course in the MIT Professional Education Catalog. The aim of the course is to review fundamentals and provide an up-to-date of current knowledge in biological and biochemical technology. The lectures will emphasize and place perspective in biological systems with industrial practices. This course has made some major additions, modification and revisions in the course topics and courses contents over the past few years. In recognition of the increasing number of attendees from non-pharmaceutical industries, the instructors are balancing the course to provide equal emphasis on mammalian and microbial technologies. More than half of the lecturers are currently working in the industry or have industrial experience.
Fermentation technology. Fermentation technology is a field which involves the use of microorganisms and enzymes for production of compounds which have application in the energy, material, pharmaceutical, chemical, and the food industry. Fermentation processes are used for generations for the requirement for sustainable production of materials, and the energy is demanding creation and advancement of novel fermentation processes. Fermentation processes comes from the work of the French chemist Louis Pasteur. It is discovered in the earliest record of fermentation dates back as far as 6000 before Christ in the Fertile Crescent, and nearly every civilization since has included at least one fermented food in its culinary heritage.
Diagnostic. A diagnostic test is a kind of medical performed to aid in the diagnosis or detection of disease. Diagnostic tests can be also used to provide prognostic information on people with established disease, processing the answers finding of results. Medical diagnosis is a process of determining which disease or condition explains a person's symptoms and signs. It is most often referred to as diagnosis, with the medical context being implicit.
Biotechnology is a large scientific field that uses research tools from chemistry and biology to study or solve problems, including human disease. Biotechnologies may be used to study the genetic materials of bird viruses and bacteria to determine whether a disease is caused by particular disease-producing agents. Biotech diagnostic tools use genetic information to help doctors detect and diagnose conditions faster and with greater ease and accuracy. Doctors can now tailor disease prevention and treatment to individual patients using and individual genetic information.
Genetic engineering is the process of using recombinant DNA or DNA technology to alter the genetic makeup of an organism. Genetic engineering involves the direct manipulation of one or more genes of most often a gene from another species is added to an organism genome to give it desired phenotype.
Hi, my name is Dinon B. Espaliardo from 1D3 BHM student. Genetic engineering, it is the process of using recombinant DNA technology to alternate the genetic makeup of an organism. It is involved the direct manipulation of one or more genes.
Hi, my name is Can Patrick C. Aguila, and I'm here to discuss something about food innovation. Food innovation include planting more cover crops such as grass and crop rotations and using organic fertilizers like manure instead of chemical fertilizers. These changes lead to healthier soils and agricultural lands can be absorb carbon from the atmosphere, offsetting global warming trends. Why is food innovation important? Food innovation is important because it produces a big difference in many companies. If you do not change what the market offers, the market will leave you behind you. The food business that survives and grows can change. This change is a continuous meeting of the customer's needs and wants, and therefore, which leads to growth. Innovation helps you take advantage of new technologies. By taking advantage of these new technologies for process innovation, you'll be able to optimize your business and gain a competitive advantage over your competitors.